till 10, talking future trips, then talk 'em all again. From Alaska dreams to Tokyo seas, got the countdown rolling with the ocean breeze. Grab your drink, raise it high, we're chasing sunsets in the sky. This channel's more than fits we make, it's a crazy crew that never breaks. 'Cause we're naughty, we're loud, yeah, we're different from the crowd, sailing through the chaos like a punk rock cruiser. Hit subscribe, come along every week, another song. Life's better on the waves with the Naughty Cruiser. Oh, we don't need perfect, we need real stories you can vibe and feel. From port to port, we scream our name, the Naughty Cruiser. Remember the fame.
What's going on, everybody? What's up? It's your boy, Mike the Naughty Cruiser. It's Thirsty Thursday, Throwback Thursday, Throat Punch Thursday. A week away from Cruising Thursday. I hope you're all having a fantastic night. I hope you all enjoyed the new countdown song. I had some fun putting that together. It took me a little while to get it all done and all of that, but I had a good time getting it together. Like I said, I hope you're all having a fantastic night. We almost didn't have a live show again this week, and can you guess why? That's right, I got trapped at work again. It's been really stormy, windy-ish down here today. Like the winds were ripping 45, 50 plus miles an hour, and my one post office lost power. So that means I couldn't collect their mail on the first trip. I had to then go and change my truck from a tractor trailer to a box truck to be able to collect their mail on the second trip. So by the time I swapped everything out and got back on the road, I was 45 minutes behind, and then that meant rush hour traffic. So we made it. Chuck sent me a picture of his dinner. He's like eating and then getting ready for the show. And I'm like, I'm still at work. This was 45 minutes before the show was supposed to start. So I made it home in enough time. I got myself in the shower. And here we are for another naughty hour. So I hope you're all having a fantastic Thursday or Friday morning if you're coming in from Australia. What's going on, Gay? Shout out to you and Ian. And Databetic, I hope you're having a great day all the way in Hawaii. So it's really early there and you're still at work. Here I am. Anyway, first things first, Doug Bray was the first one in the chat. I know for a fact because after I posted it yesterday, before I went to La La Land, I checked it, and he was already in the comment section. So shout out Doug for being the first one in here. He might not be able to pop in because he's got some errands to do and all of that stuff. But it's still early where he is. He's in Maple Ridge, BC. So still a little early for him. He's only about a 2-hour drive to Seattle, if that. So he'll be driving in for the Alaska group cruise. Scotty's in the house. Doug's in the house. Gay's in the house. Lourdes is in the house. Databetic is in the house. Chucky's in the house. Jackie's in the house. Who else we got? I know we got some more in here. Kathy's in the house. Who else do we got? I know I saw a couple more. Robin's in the house. Wells Bell's in the house. West Bell's in the house. However you say it. Don't judge me for butchering your names. I don't do it on purpose. But it's another Thursday. Chucky's already saying he's excited for this next cruise. He's stoked for this next cruise. 8 days, Carnival Magic, out of Port Miami. definitely looking forward to getting back on a ship, and it can't come at a better time. I mean, we all know, if you've been here for the last couple weeks, work is going out the window. Pow! And yeah, so we do have a new contractor. I did interview with them on Monday. Everything went well, and we are trying to get from a truck driving role to a local management role. So I'm okay with that. I would rather transition into a management role. I've been in the trucking industry for a very long time. I know the ins, the outs. I know the postal contracts. I know the way it works with the post office. So I would not be opposed to sitting at a desk and being a manager. I still got a lot of things to think about and all of that stuff, but it's definitely in the cards, and I won't say no. So we're trying to figure all of that out and get all that figured out. So we have the next cruise is the Carnival Magic out of Miami, followed by the Boats and Bros. Now, I'm going to call this a side-by-side, right? One cruise to the next one. Even though there's a day apart, I'm still going to call it a side-by-side. I get on the ship on a Saturday in Miami. I get off the following Sunday. I drive home. I pick up Cameron from the airport, and then I get on a ship on Monday. So I am A-okay with calling it a side-by-side. If you don't want to call it a side-by-side, fine by me. Call it whatever you want to call it. Call it two cruises. I don't care. I'm calling it a side-by-side. It's in the same state. I'm going from one side of the state to the other side of the state, and I'm doing both of them. So I am A-okay with it. Now, here's the little dilemma that I am experiencing with this cruise. I don't know if or how much I should gamble. I don't know. I'm going to be diamond at the end of the second cruise. So the goal of reaching diamond is achieved. And now, we all know I get great offers through Carnival, and I tend to book those offers. Well, I didn't get either one of these offers, so I piggybacked on Chuck. Chuck had these offers. Chuck booked them. I jumped on. I'm rooming with Chucky on these ones. These are his offers. So I don't know if there's going to be any free play allocated to me through the casino. I know sometimes you can get free play as a second, even though it's not your offer. So I don't know what's going to be happening there. So I don't know how much I should allocate of extra expenses for the casino. Now, me and Chuck have been talking. I do not want to spend a ton of time in the casino. My ultimate goal with these cruises is to be able to spend as much time with everybody as humanly possible. Do what everybody wants to do, take part into some events and things like that, and then just dabble a little bit in the casino. Again, the ultimate goal was to achieve diamond. I will be doing that by the end of the second cruise, so there's no concern of leveling up point-wise with a new program they got rolling out and all of that stuff. I'll be diamond for life, which, again, is another accomplishment that I set out to do, and I did it in 4 years. Maybe 5 if we figure out the math. But my very first Carnival cruise was in 2021. So here we are. I cruised October of 21. And in February of 26, I am solidly past the 200-day mark needed to be diamond with Carnival. Dad Abedic in the house with a super chat. Gamble. Just hashtag $5. LOL. So since you did it, here you go. Here's the new super chat.
Thank you for the super chat.
And it's a gambling super chat. We had to change things around and do things like that. I enjoy gambling. I enjoy pressing the button and spinning we can't even call it reels anymore because it's a computer. So, a press, $5 a press is what we're going to call it. So I'm definitely going to dabble in the casino. I don't think I'm going to do it as much as I typically do. But I don't know. It's really a tough call, right? It's really a tough call. And I just want to figure out what I should allocate for the casino, if any. Now, I do have 2 cruises here. So the first one, it's not going to be a ton of people. It's just me and Chuck. Anybody else that comes up to me on the ship or whatever, hangs out with us throughout the week, whatever the case may be, that's great. The second cruise is the one that I got a lot more people going on. And when I say a lot more, I don't mean a ton of people. We got a little group, and that's the whole part of Boats and Bros. It's the whole point of Boats and Bros. It's to have a small group of people, everyone go and have a good time, and all of that. The Paradise is a smaller ship. It's a fantasy class ship, so you have less balconies, you have less dining options, but you have a little bit more entertainment options when it comes to shows in the theater or things like that. So, I want to spend a little bit more time with everybody. I want to talk to people, right? Like there's people going on this group cruise, the Boats and Bros, that are going to be on the Alaska State of Mind group cruise. Not only are they in the Alaska State of Mind, they're on the Lalita Loca Bermuda cruise out of Philadelphia that I will be on. So I want to spend some time. I want to chit chat. I want to talk. I want to figure a few things out, see what everybody's intentions and plans are for Seattle or Philadelphia. My buddy Dave Dietz, shout out Dave Dietz. He's rooming. I'm rooming with him on the Lalita Loca Bermuda cruise. So he's coming on this. I know Kathy said Dow's in the house with her. So what's up, Dow? I had the pleasure of meeting Kathy and Dow over Christmas time. That was a wonderful experience. And Doug's on all three. Like he just said, I am on all three. So I want to be able to spend some time, chit chat, conversate, and all that stuff. Haley's in the house at work. I don't know where Martin is. And you know what, Haley? Martin and me and Chuck, we're in this group chat. Martin was talking about rice. So he probably, instead of saying, hey, I'll be at the live show when you go live at 10 o'clock, he was telling me, hey, when I first met Haley, she made me boil in a bag rice. And I told her never again. That's the conversation we had. Shout out, Martin. You're in trouble. I didn't do it. Chuck's got my back. And that's that. So following the cruise on the Magic, we got the Paradise. Now the Paradise is the Boats and Bros. Short little 5-day cruise out of Tampa. If you've never sailed out of Tampa, I highly recommend you put Port of Tampa on your list for a cruise. It is wonderful. It is easy to get out into the open ocean. Yes, it does take a little bit longer, but you get to sail under the Skyway Bridge, and the Skyway is absolutely gorgeous at nighttime when it's all lit up. If you sailed out of New Orleans, you know what it's like sailing down the Mississippi to get to the Gulf. It's kind of similar. It doesn't take as long as it does to sail out of New Orleans, but sailing out of Port of Tampa is absolutely amazing. You sail through downtown, you see houses, you see people lined up on all the different, parks and all that stuff that surround the water. And then you go under the Skyway, which is awesome. So the Skyway is a bridge that was rebuilt because in the 70s, the old bridge got hit and all of that stuff. So you'll sail out through the fishing piers that they turn the old bridge into the fishing piers and all of that stuff. But it's absolutely wonderful. It's one of my favorite sailways. Wait for Chuck to get into the chats telling me I say it wrong. I don't say it wrong. I say it right. It's just the accent. It's a northern thing. I'm from Philly. Shout out 215. And yeah, like Chuck said, pay the extra $20 for valet parking. So parking at Port of Tampa is $100 or $120 for valet. Valet is great. Port of Tampa is one of those ports like last year or the year before when the hurricanes came through. Things got flooded out. If you paid regular parking, you weren't in the parking garage, well, then you might have came back to a muddy car. I know valet, they tend to move your vehicle if something like that is going to happen. And it's real easy. You pull up, you drop all your bags, you get out, you give them your keys, and when you get off the ship, you say, hey, here's my ticket, and they bring you your car, you get in your car, and you roll. So the valet parking is well worth the extra $20, in my opinion, and in Chuck's opinion as well. Dang, got us feeling bad for Martin if you keep that up. I don't feel bad for Martin. Martin then went on to say he's got a $500 rice cooker, and now he's always got rice. So it's all good. Martin in the house. I had to teach Haley how to measure rice with a finger when making rice. Thanks for the super chat, bro.
Thank you for the super chat.
Now you owe Haley $10 towards her Alaska fund. Got you back there too, Haley. Listen, I'm quick to betray y'all. Don't tell me one thing and then be like, hey, if I do this, then I have to give her money. I'm going to make sure she's getting her money. She may be at work doing some ultrasound and stuff, but I'm going to make sure she's getting her money. But yeah, it's all fun, right? Like everything is going well. Everything's going great. Alaska's in its final few months of a countdown. I've made some final payments. I've made some hefty payments for a couple clients, getting everything finalized there. Next week is going to be a week where I spend some time finalizing the itinerary for the cruise. Now, I will take some time while I'm on the next cruise and do some work for Alaska while I'm on that ship as well. That way I can kind of like have my own space, do my own thing. Chuck is a really good coffee boy. Like, I love cruising with my boy Chuck. He'll be like, hey, bro, I'm going to go get coffee. Give me your card. Cameron does the same thing. So I can sit down at the desk and do some work, and then coffee will magically appear. And I'm A-okay with that. I appreciate all of that. So I know when I'm cruising with Chuck, I'll be taken care of when it comes to the coffee. But it's time to get everything finalized. We're not that far out. Final payment's right around the corner. And everything else is having to get figured out. But it's been a fun week nonetheless, right? I got to play detective this week. And by detective, I mean I messaged everyone that I possibly could have messaged. Databetic, I couldn't message you because you don't have Facebook. So I had this mysterious package arrive at my house this week. And everyone was like, hey, your Amazon stuff's here. And I'm like, I haven't ordered anything on Amazon for a while. I've been boycotting Amazon because I don't have the money. And Amazon's one of those things where I tend to, at nighttime, scroll and look for dumb stuff. And then it shows up at my house 2 days later or the next day. And I don't realize that I ordered it, but I've done it. So a mysterious package arrived at the house. I sent a message to Gay asking her if it was her. It was not her. I sent a message to Doug asking if it was him. It was not him. I sent a message to Ian asking if it was him. It was not him. I sent a message to Martin and Chuck, and Chuck didn't respond, but it wasn't Martin. So I got this package in the mail. I'm going to grab it real quick and I'll show you. And this is why I thought it was Gay, or I thought it was Ian. Australian chocolates and snacks, also known as Chockies. So, there's a bunch of different... I closed it so the kids didn't get in it. But there's like a bunch of different like Aussie snacks in here. I got 2 different types of Tim Tams. Okay. I got some wagon wheels. I got some picnic bars. I got some, caramel koalas, and just a bunch of different stuff. But the best part about the whole package is what else came with it. I got an XL return to sender stamp, not at this address. So that's the second part of the package. Now, this package was meant to arrive to me. This package, however, was meant to arrive to, you guessed it, Chuck. Chuck ordered it, and then ordered himself this and sent it to my house. So I played detective for about 5 hours, and it's happening. Jackie, don't believe Martin. It might be disappearing, but it's not disappearing like that. And it's going to be different for us because of the group booking. So don't stress too much. Martin, stop making people freak out. Because you don't even know the no, bro. You don't even know the no. Chuck was at work when he sent that message and asleep. Were you at work or were you at sleep? Can't tell you. So, other than that, the week has been good. I got a Lego haul. I don't know if you care to see that, but Doug would care. I got this, Doug. Look. It's the year of the horse. So I got the gift with purchase, year of the horse. And then, of course, I had to, big old Stranger Things fan. I got the Creel house, and that was the gift with purchase with that. And then I got some Brickheads, season 5 Brickheads. And then I got 2 of these bad boys that are going to go with the 3 that I already got in the shelf over there, but they're mini DeLoreans. They came out this month as well. I work a 24 or 48-hour shift. I do try to sleep when I can. Yeah. What can you say? He sleeps. Chuck, you need a stamp. We can just write return to sender. Martin's giving Chuck crap for a return to sender stamp instead of writing RTS on it. But it is what it is. It doesn't really matter. But other than that, everything else is going well. The week is finally wrapping up. I got one more day of work, and then I'm off on Saturday, work Sunday, and then I'm off on Monday. So 2 days off this week, which is nice, and then I just work till next Friday, and then we are Miami bound come Saturday morning. But here's a question I have for you. Are you a... you know what? Let's do it in a form of a poll. Let's do that. Are you a... Here we go. Bang. There's a poll for you. Do you go to the port the day before or take the chance and go the day of the cruise? Because me and Chuck have decided to take a chance and go the day of the cruise. Now, mind you, I live in the Tampa Bay area. I'm about 40 minutes north of Tampa Bay. And it is a 5-hour drive from me to Port of Miami. Now, if you recall, when we left back in October, I worked all day and then we drove to the Port of Miami. And we flew out. Well, we didn't drive the Port of Miami. We drove to Miami Airport and we flew out to Europe, Barcelona from Miami International Airport. Now, I can make the drive the same day after working a 10, 12-hour day. I think I'd be okay doing that. But I also think I'll be okay waking up early the next day and taking the 5-hour drive in the morning. Yeah, I do. I talk when I type, but I tend to catch myself and I stop talking. So I'll be like, yeah. So I tend to slow it down a little bit. Depends on the port. So I know Chuck has made some crazy trips, right? Like he's gotten off of work and then drove from where he lives in Georgia to Port Canaveral and has almost missed the ship. So I get a little leery when it comes to Chuck. Even back then in October, he worked and then left, and then I was having to wait for Chuck, and I was getting a little scared at the time he was getting back here for us to leave and drive to Miami, and that was cutting it a little close for me. So I get a little bit worried when it comes to Chuck, because Chuck's like, nah, we can make it. And then I'm like, I don't know if we can make it. I got lead in my foot, but I don't know if I got that much lead. But yeah, depends where it is. I'm only 20 minutes from the port. I live 4 hours from Galveston, and I am a chickenish to drive the morning of. I travel from Vancouver, BC, and have to take a minimum of a 1-hour flight and usually one connection to get to most cruise ports. Now, that's understandable. But we always have to fly to port, so day before always at least. Doug, well, yeah, I'm an anxious person. I would never take the chance. However, if it was just driving, I would consider the same day. Flying is different. We have flown interstate in the same day a couple of times. But did I miss it? No, you didn't. You actually got really close to missing it, but you made it. Nonetheless, right? You made it. Now, here's the thing with me. I have always been a day before guy because when I was younger, we went on a cruise out of Fort Lauderdale and we chose to fly out the day of. Now, I had no control of this. I was a kid. I was knee high to a grasshopper. But the day the cruise left was the same day they were having the Super Bowl in Miami. So we were already late. Airspace was at a minimum. They literally held the ship because there was like 6 or 7 planes that had a ton of people still waiting to get to the cruise. Now, we made the cruise. We got there, I think it was like 4:30 in the afternoon. But ever since then, when we had to fly from living up north, obviously flying to Florida, when we had to fly, we flew out the day before, a couple days before. And if we drove, we obviously left a lot longer, time to get here. But Miami, to me, it's 5 hours. I got a good car. I think I can make Miami in 5 hours and not be too concerned. I got caught up in the traffic less than an hour from your house, and it took an extra hour to get to you. Yeah, it's definitely crazy it's the traffic down here. And I constantly, if you're a snowbird, please mute me right now because I'm constantly like, go the hell home. So many different license plates. People don't move. And when you're a truck driver, like you get a little frustrated, right? Because I'm not driving a car. I'm driving a lethal heavy weapon down the highway at a rate of 65 plus miles an hour. So when something stupid happens, you tend to let it fly. And then you just like, Tampa, same day. Tampa for me would be same day. It's only a 40-minute ride. I got no problem taking that. But we're gonna take the chance. We're gonna drive in same day to Port Miami. As of right now, for all I know, Chuck might be like, "Hey, let's get a room," and I'm gonna be like, "I really don't want to get a room after working all day and then drive 5 hours to just go to sleep. I'd rather just go home, get some sleep, get up 5 o'clock in the morning, hit the road, get out the door, and be good to go." I did get a red-eye flight out of Seattle once to Miami and arrived at 10:30 a.m. and got an Uber to the port, and we got on the celebration before noon. I will never do it again. See, that to me might be a little bit of a nerve-wracking situation, right? Like, I don't think I would be okay with that. I've actually gotten antsy knowing I was flying in the day before, like when I flew to Galveston the first time to do the Jubilee. I got so flustered and aggravated that I got on the wrong shuttle when I arrived in Galveston, ended up at the wrong hotel, paid the guy an extra like $20 just to get me back to my right hotel when all I had to do was walk behind the building and like cut through the bushes, and I was there. I would have been there in like 20 seconds walking from the parking lot of the one hotel to the backside parking lot to the other one. But it ended up costing me an extra $20. Lesson learned. Don't get frustrated because things are going to happen. And that tends to still continue happening. I don't know if I've told everybody what happened in October, but when we arrived so October, we flew out of Miami to Barcelona. We flew TAP Portugal Airlines, and every flight that you take on TAP Portugal, if you're going somewhere in Europe, has a layover. That layover is in Lisbon, Portugal. So when you get to Lisbon, you get off the plane, you get on the new plane, and then it takes you to your final destination. So we get off the plane in Lisbon. Everything was great. Everything was awesome. Got some good food. I've looked forward to going back to Lisbon because it's been a while since I've been to Portugal. So even though it was a quick little layover, I was still happy. They have a really big Lego store in there. I was happy with that place. That's usually where, like if you remember back last year when we arrived, I had the lounge passes. I got the shower. And it's just one of my favorite airports over in Europe to travel through. So we get on the second plane in Lisbon, and to get onto that plane, you had to go downstairs through the steps, get on the tarmac, take the bus to the plane. And at this point, I was dog tired. Mind you, I worked all night long. I drove to Miami. I got a quick shower at the hotel. I got to the airport. I ended up upgrading my seat to a business class seat just to be able to get some good, comfortable sleep. And when we get to Lisbon, everything's well. We get off the plane. We get on the new plane. And then I fall right to sleep on the new plane. I was just ready to get off the plane and get to the hotel, drop bags, and just relax. Well, by the time we get off the plane, it takes like 10 minutes just to get off the plane in Barcelona to get through everything out to the baggage area to get your bags and all that stuff. So we made our way out to baggage claim, got our bags, made our way from baggage claim, which takes like another 10 minutes down to the taxi rank to grab a taxi or an Uber, got all the way down to the taxi rank. I went to grab my crossbody that I travel with because that's where I had my euros, that's where I had my passport, that's where I had everything. And I realized it was gone. Absolutely gone. I'm looking all around for it. I grabbed Chuck and I was like, I left my bag on the plane. Now, the cruise was the next day. We flew in and landed at midnight the night before. We had one day and then we had the cruise. So I really didn't have much time. I had 24 hours. I went in, I ended up talking to everybody, and they're like, oh, it usually takes 24 to 48 hours. They'll find it, they'll bring it to us, we'll call you, leave us your number. And I'm like, you don't understand. It's got everything I need in there. My passport, my money, every possible thing I need. My credit cards that work internationally, that don't charge fees. Everything I possibly could need for the next 24 to 48 hours and to get on the ship, including boarding passes and all that, are in this bag. Well, they managed to get it to me. Took about an hour and 20 minutes, but I got the bag. But it's all because I got flustered. Yes, Chuck, I see your comment. He slept on the first leg of the flight. I did. I absolutely did. I got some sleep, but it's only a 6-hour flight. Like, I was up for over 24 hours at that point. Like, by the time I closed my eyes, I got maybe 2.5, 3 hours of sleep on the plane. So I wasn't in the right state of mind. Never before have I ever left a bag of importance. All my jewelry was in there, my diamond earrings, my diamond rings, all my gold, everything was in that bag. I was literally crapping bricks because I wasn't worried about all the other stuff that was replaceable. Everything in the bag was replaceable. But that was the only way I could get onto the cruise ship. Not only that, if I couldn't get on the cruise ship, that was the only way I could get on an aeroplane to fly back to the States. Everything I needed was there. So the whole time we're waiting, me and Chuck are looking up the embassy hours. We're looking up the rules for an emergency passport, all that stuff. So it just goes to show that being a chaotic mess and trying to do things under the overwhelming stress of things don't always pan out the way you want it to. So now I need to just take a little bit more time. And with going the day of, I'm okay with taking the ride the day of. I don't think it's a big concern for me. It's 5 hours. 5 hours. But let's see what some of these comments say. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, it does make sense, Martin. It does make sense. But Chuck says, no, it don't because he got sleep. Winters in the most of Canada can be very rough, and if you are retired, deal with it if you have to. Yeah, so my buddy Scotty Mack, I think you know who Scotty Mack is, Doug. He lives up in Saskatchewan, so he'll send me like pictures and videos of like the snowfall that he gets up there and all that stuff, and I'm like, dude, that's crazy. And his closest like supermarket to his house is 2 hours away in a little town called Flin Flon. And it takes him 8 hours just to get to the airport. So I know if I asked him this question, he would be obviously a day before because it takes him 8 hours just to get to the airport. I left my backpack in the rental when we dropped it off at Port Canaveral. Got back to the terminal before I realized, luckily, there was another shuttle that was able to bring me to. Yeah, see? So it's like little things like that, right? Like you just tend to forget or it just slips your mind. What happened with the passport? Were you able to get it back to the U.S.? Yeah, so obviously I am here. I'm back in the States. They got the bag. They found the bag. So it was great. It was exactly where I told them it was. They asked me a couple questions, and I was like, you're really going to ask me what's in the bag? My passport's in there. Take it out. Look at the picture. Look at the face. It's new. Like my passport, It's a new passport. I just got it right before this trip because I needed the X amount of time for, the rules of coming back into the States. So the passport picture, it's the same guy. Like you can't get it wrong, right? So I just renewed it right before the trip because I had no choice but to renew it because you need 6 months on your passport when you come back from certain ports or places over in Europe. So I made sure that was done, and I needed it to get renewed anyway for Alaska. So why not get it all done one shot? I don't got to worry about it now for another 10 years. It was great. I did not get much sleep at all. I was in the cheap seats. Hey, not my fault. I was not in the cheap seats. So that, and you know what? The sad part is I love everyone I travel with. If I travel with you, you know I love you. If I joke with you, you know it's fun, it's games, it's all that fun stuff. But I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad that I sat in business class with a lay flat seat and a big TV and hot food and cold alcoholic beverages. I do not feel bad. Don't feel bad whatsoever. Let's see the rest. What's your passport number? It's 1, and you can find that number in between these 2 fingers and this one. It's 1. I got the very first passport, Martin, and I'll show it to you. Just not here on the live show. The pictures definitely are a little weird. The feeling of the passport to me is a little weird. It's really thick plastic. It's not like the old school paper. Tomorrow night at 2100, I will be checking in for the Boats and Bros cruise. Let's go. Show them your old passport picture. I don't have my old passport here. I know what you're getting at, Chuck. Maybe we'll pull that out next week. My old passport picture, I was a baby. I didn't have no beard. I didn't have nothing. It's a horrible picture. I'll show you that. But you know which one's funny? What picture everyone tends to want to see is my concealed carry picture because like my hair was super long. My beard was really long. I looked like a mountain man when I first got that. So I got to update that too. I definitely got to get new pictures on a lot of stuff. My driver's license is even horrible. Let me see. See this picture. This one doesn't look as bad as the passport picture. That's my global entry card. And if you do a lot of traveling, coming back to the States by air and all that stuff, global entry is the way to go. TSA pre-check and all that stuff. And check with your local credit card providers. Here's a tip for you. A lot of them, they might not tell you, but if you read like your fine print, you actually probably, most likely, depending on the credit card company you have. I know Chase does it, Amex does it, Capital One Venture cards or Venture One X has it. They give you the credits so you can get TSA pre-check and they refund you the money for that, or global entry and you get refunded the money for that as well. So definitely check those out. You paid for it and you shouldn't feel bad. No, Doug, I didn't feel bad. And me and Chuck were like sitting there, and at that point in time, you couldn't just like pay for an upgrade. You had to bid for an upgrade. So I put in a bid, and then I look around, and I'm looking around, and we're checking everybody else's phones and who else is asleep, all of this stuff. Everybody seemed good. And then like with 3 minutes left, somebody outbid me. I was like, oh no, we are not going out like this. I had this seat for the last 40 minutes. Ain't nobody going to outbid me on this one. So I did the next one, boom, and I ended up getting it, which is great. And I got it a lot cheaper than what it would have been if I would have bought it right out of the gate. So I'm happy with that. And I looked over at Chuck and I was like, have fun sitting in economy, bro. I got business class seat to get to. So I definitely did not feel bad at all. And it was comfortable. I enjoyed it. When we took the kids to LA, Dan flew business class, and the kids and I were in economy. That's because Dan was going over for his work at the time. It was pretty funny though. Well, I mean, I get that, right? Like if he was going on a business trip and work paid for it, and then he was like, we can't afford business class for you guys, so economy it is. I think I would have been a little upset at that point, but I get it. I understand it. That's how Martin is. He wants first class, and he would put me in the cheap seats. Yeah, I mean, that's messed up, Haley. I would I would sit in economy. Let me stop because I probably wouldn't. Like, I love Chucky to death, man. Chuck was able to do the same thing as me and bid for a seat. He did not do it. I did. I won. I got it. Be jealous. The only downfall to me getting it was when you get business class, you get lounge access, right? Well, we didn't have enough time in between our flights to go and enjoy the lounge. So we just hung out. I walked into the Lego store, grabbed some egg custards and stuff like that and just had a good time sitting there. Is Global Entry the same as Nexus? I'm not 100% sure, Doug. Global Entry, when I got Global Entry, it was hard to get the interview. So you go through like the whole application process, and then it was like months and months and months just to be able to get an interview. So it got to the point where I went to do the interview and schedule it, and it was like 18 months out before I could even get an interview. The best way would have been when you were flying in from, overseas to an airport like, let's say like Newark or JFK, you'd be able to do the interview right then and there when you flew in. Tampa didn't offer that. Miami didn't offer that. But I checked it every single day. And then I got really lucky because 2 appointments ended up opening up on a day that I was off from work. So I was like, yep, let's go. And then I ended up getting it a lot quicker. So I don't know if it's the same as Nexus. I do know it's similar to Clear, but Clear is a little different as well. I'm still waiting for my fast, free, and secure trade pass that I applied for over 18 months ago. Yeah, and that's how Global Entry was for a long time. I don't know if they're still that way anymore. She kept whispering loudly in my ear for the whole 14.5-hour flight. How much longer? How much longer? That's what I'm worried about with the kids when we fly to Alaska. This will be the first time the kids have flown from Jersey or from Philadelphia to Florida, from Florida to Philadelphia multiple times. And my concern is this is going to be a 6-hour flight from Tampa to Seattle, and that's my concern. Most higher end credit cards will give you airport access. Yeah. Oh man. So here we go. Chuck sent me my passport picture, but we might as well do some show and tell. Here's Martin's passport picture from when he was younger and his dad was in the military. Martin sent that in the chat. So there's that. Me and Martin could have been brothers when we were younger, man. I'm telling you. And then Chuck sent me my old passport picture because he obviously had a copy of my passport on his phone from past cruises. But here's my very first passport picture. There was no beard. It was just a little goatee. Haircut, hairstyle, and all that was completely different. But that's it. Oh man. Mike's pick's hilarious. Yeah, but Mike's pick's hilarious. Right. That's why you just got blasted all over the internet and YouTube world, Martin. Look at that face. Haley, that's only a face a mother could love. I don't know how he did it, but God bless you, girl. God bless you. I'm still waiting on an interview with U.S. Customs for my Fast Pass. I've already had my interview with Canada's Customs. Okay, so maybe is that something that you're able to do when you land in Tampa? The second flight, I had taught her how to read the flight info on the TV thingy and not ask me questions unless the plane was on fire. Make sure the kids have movies or games on their phones and a good battery backup. So I don't think they'll have like too many problems with anything like that, like entertainment wise or whatever. And Alaska Airlines, they do really well with their like in-flight entertainment. I'm not 100% sure if this flight is going to have any in-flight entertainment. But the young one, man, he is a question machine, right? Like he's got a ton of questions at any given moment. He'll fire them at you. And Chuck will tell you, he expects certain things, right? Chuck made the mistake of one time coming here for a visit or before a cruise, and he brought him a pack of magnets, like Georgia magnets. And now Michael's on this magnet kick thing because he sees like my magnet boards and all that stuff. So any other time Chuck comes here, Mikey expects Chuck to bring him more magnets. Mikey's thing is like, all right, I see Chuck, I get magnets. Well, Chuck's done it 2 or 3 times now. And now every time Chuck comes to visit, Mike is like, hey, where's magnets? Where's magnets? Where's magnets? So you need magnets. And Martin, they do have in-flight entertainment. You just have to do it on your own personal device, my friend. Get with the program, bruh. So now, Martin and Haley went away over to Germany. She picked up Mikey a magnet. So now I've been keeping it a secret that there's this magnet for Michael coming in February from Germany. And, I don't want to tell him because he expects it. And then I'll get asked 500 different times, when's the magnet coming? When's the magnet coming? When's the magnet coming? When's the magnet coming? So he's the only one I'm really worried about. The 14-year-old, he'll do his own thing. The 12-year-old, she'll be in her phone. All of that fun stuff. It's the little one that I'm really worried about. The good thing is my mom's going, so I can put my dad on the window seat, my son in the middle seat, and my mom on the aisle seat. And then I could just sit myself 20 rows away and not have to worry about it until we land. It's a great thing having your parents go with you on the trip. Mom, if you're watching, I love you, but I just signed you up for it. Alaska Airlines doesn't have in-flight entertainments. They do, but nothing in the seat back, right? So a lot of people don't know, like Southwest has in-flight entertainment as well. You would just have to connect to their internet and do it from your personal device. So you're still able to find like certain movies or shows or games or things like that. All the kids have iPads. They all got iPhones. I'm not worried about it. I was told that I have to wait for an appointment in Seattle. All the drivers at work had to do their interviews in Seattle as well. That's weird. Yeah, I'm going to have to look into that, Doug, because it's a little different than what we have here, but it sounds like it gives you the same type of benefits. Mikey might be flying the plane by the end of the cruise. Yeah, who knows? Can't wait to meet little Mike. I have Hong Kong magnets for him and also Aussie magnets for him. He's going to love y'all. He's absolutely going to love y'all. And don't be surprised if he just wants to hang out with you guys. He'll be like, what are you doing today? Can I come hang out with you? That's such little man. He is definitely that person that he'll make friends with everybody and anybody. And, he's looking forward to this cruise probably more than a lot of other people are looking forward to it. So I can't really argue with it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. And he's been trying to get me to let him have this. I picked this up from Five Below the other day, and he's been like, can I have it? Can I have it? Can I have it? I'm like, no. If you're a member of the Rapid Rewards, you'll get free Wi-Fi on Southwest. Yeah, so that's another thing, right? Since you don't get free bags. I know with me having T-Mobile, they partner with certain airlines, so when I fly on certain airlines, my internet's free. Or depending on the airline, like TAP Portugal, I get like 4 hours for free, and then it's like $5 for the rest of the flight if I wanted to upgrade. So I can't really argue with that either. I'm not going to have any room for many clothes after bringing all the Tim Tams and magnets and such. So if I'm wearing the same thing every day, please forgive me. You want to talk about not having room? Let's talk about not having room. When Dal and Kathy were here, I showed them everything that has already been acquired for the Alaska group cruise. And we talked about a couple other things that are going to be acquired or purchased or processed or made or whatever the case may be for the Alaska group cruise. I have to take like 3 or 4 suitcases just for the stuff that I'm giving away. Like there's so much stuff. And the reason I have to take that much is because some things are heavy, right? Like I got one product that I really want to show everybody, but I haven't. There's only a few select people that have seen this product. So I'm not gonna spoil it. It's gonna be a surprise. But there's so many of them that the weight of the product is going to exceed what's allowed by the airline, right? So I have to take multiple bags. I do have a friend in I'm sure I'm going to say Chicago, but the Seattle area, a few hours away from Seattle, that told me like I can ship stuff to his house and then just meet up with him when I get there. But I don't want to put anybody out. I don't want to make people feel obligated that they have to allow me to ship something to them or whatever. So, yeah, there's that. Or I can, the hotel has already told me I can ship them some packages and all that stuff. So, we'll see what happens. If it gets down to it and I got to ship a package or two, then I might do that. But I can also check with the airlines because a lot of people don't know. A lot of packages move by plane too. So I could potentially see if they have a carrier program where they take certain packages. Can't you send a couple of large boxes via U.S. mail to the coast? Yeah. So it's an option, right? But the weight is the factor. So the postage in the States is so expensive anymore that anything that weighs any form of, weight, it's just so ridiculously expensive. I picked up a package yesterday from one of my stops. It was an express package, which means it's 2 days. It'll get on a plane and it'll be there within 2 days. But it was clothes that somebody was sending to one of their kids or something away at college. And it was $107 to ship some clothes. I'm like, yo, cash at me $100 and I'll go to Walmart and get some new drawers. Like, don't pay no $107 to ship me some clothes. So it really depends, right? Now, there's certain things that don't weigh a lot. And Chuck will tell you, I'm a packing freak. Like, I will figure out a way to make everything fit in a bag and get right to the weight limit that I'm supposed to be at, maybe a couple ounces over. But there's so much stuff that I'm bringing with me to give away that I'm like, okay, well, for those of you that are flying, Gay, Dan, Kathy, Dow, majority of us that are flying, especially flying international, bring an extra collapsible duffel bag or something that you can put stuff in. I know a lot of airlines allow second bags or whatever the case may be. Some flights might even come with your bags. But, bring a little collapsible duffel bag. I have one linked in the Amazon list. You can find that in the description. I use that on every trip, especially the international trips, because you never know what Mike's going to buy. Just like this last trip, Mike bought a bunch of Legos. And Gizmo was one of them. His box was all crushed, but I use that collapsible duffel bag for everything because of that reason. So the kids' bags will have extra stuff in them for sure. My bags will have extra stuff in them for sure. And then Martin and Chuck and the rest of the group, they've already been signed up to put these things together. So that way we can give them to you guys on board embarkation day. And you guys can see all your goodies and all of that stuff. I could strap crap to my body and then customs do the cavity search and control. You're a trip guy. You're an absolute trip. On our last flight, both checked bags were within. Then he deletes it. Come on. Chuck, bring me some stuff too. What's Chuck going to bring you? What do you want, Martin? You want magnets? You want some Georgia magnets, Martin? We could bring you some Georgia magnets. Martin, so here's the thing, right? Gay and Dan are bringing a lot of Tim Tams for everybody. Doug is bringing a lot of chocolate candies from Canada. Martin needs to bring a bunch of white cheddar beaver nuggets. Deal. Haley will take my spot putting bags together. It's all good because I got the message from Haley that said you're signed up. You don't realize it, right? But here's how this is going to go. We have a few hour drive to Vancouver. When we arrive in Seattle, we're getting that rental car, and then we're going into Vancouver for the day. What's going to happen is we're going to pin Martin in the back corner, and then Martin's going to be the person that holds the very last piece that's got to go with this piece. So you're going to end up getting involved and being forced to put stuff together either way. All of that's going to be finalized this week. The itinerary that I'm planning is going to be finalized this week. All of that stuff is going to get finalized. What's ew, Kathy? What's ew? The white cheddar beaver nuggets, they're delicious. They are delicious. Julie in the house. What's going on, Julie? I was bad and spent a small fortune all this week. I got the Lego Death Star. Oh, Doug, let me tell you what. The Death Star is on my list. I really don't know if I want to spend $1,000, but I really want the Death Star. Now, I'm a big into Pokemon, like retro gaming and stuff. I don't do like the Pokemon cards and all that stuff, even though I did when I was a kid. But that new Pokemon set, the Bulbasaur and all that, I am so wanting that set. It's a $650 set, over 6,000 pieces. I definitely want that set. I have to figure out what Lego set I'm going to bring with me on the cruise and put together. Tomorrow, I'm going to come home and put together both mini Back to the Future sets. I already opened the one box to check it out and see what they look like and check out the sticker sheet and all of that. But I got 2 of the Creel houses and I got 2 of the gift with purchases, so the Squawks. But I also have the original upside down, like the Stranger Things upside down. That's still new in box. It's not built. It's in my closet. And I got 2 sets of the Brickheads. Now, I do have to get another set of Brickheads because when I was in Europe, I got the one set, and I put that together on the cruise. But I want to have, like a shelf set. Like, I'm big with the shelf sets and all of that stuff. So that's going to be like a whole shelf set eventually. The Upside Down right now, people are going ape crap for it, and they're selling it for upwards of $1,000 US. I didn't pay nowhere near that. Let's just say if I sell it, I'm coming out really ahead on that set. But I'm a big Stranger Things guy. I don't think I would let it go. I honestly don't think I would sell that set. It's one that I want to put together. I'll put them both together with the Brickheads and all that stuff and set them all up. So I definitely am considering that. But I lied. I did put a Lego set together the other day. I said Gizmo was the last one I put together. I actually put together the new Paris set that came out this month. So I'll grab that and show you that too. Oh no, Lego Avalanche. So this was the latest build. I put this together the other day while watching some football. Oh. And this was fun. It was a fun little build, and it's got a little hook on the back. So I'm going to probably just like pop it on the wall somewhere. But yeah, that was the latest Lego build, the architecture set. The City of Love. Sell it and buy the Death Star. I think the Death Star, even if I bought the Death Star, I don't think I would necessarily build the Death Star, because that's going to be a set that the value is going to absolutely shoot through the roof on. It's already $1,000 now. It's crazy. Are beaver nuggets like moose beans? I don't know what moose beans are, but beaver nuggets are like a corn pop, and they have them in all different flavors. The white cheddar is one of my favorites. It's kind of like a popcorn. I am bringing individually wrapped Tim Tams 2 per person so that they will stay fresh. Thought they would be better than packets and dividing them up. You can then eat them during the cruise. Individual packs of Tim Tams 2 per person. So y'all get 2 each, and then I get a case. It works out perfect. Look at that. I got some here. I really enjoy them. I know you're not a big fan of them, but I can smash a whole pack of those things. If I spent $1,300, Haley would beat my. Well, he spent $1,300, right? That's Canadian, so it's $1,000 set in the States. Martin, have you built your ship in the bottle yet? That would be a great one to build in the ship. I did. I built the one ship in the bottle. I have another one that I didn't build yet. So yeah, that's built. I was thinking of taking the endurance, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I do self-assist, right? So it's a lot of getting off the ship with all of my stuff, and I'm afraid that if I do self-assist with a big set, then I'm going to break it. Corn pop cereal, but sweeter. Looks better than the big Eiffel Tower. I think it looks good. I do have the big Eiffel Tower sitting in the closet, and I got the Titanic sitting in the closet. I want to get them both built real soon, too. Unflavored cheese puffs, the normal flavor is a sweet one. Yeah, they're good, Kathy. Don't knock them till you try it. But before we get out of here, let's roll that beautiful bean footage.
Welcome, this is your life now. The wasteland where we all take a vow. Some glow due to radiation. Two heads where there usually is one. Unsung. With you, I know we'll find a way through the fallout, come away. With every mutation, we'll embrace the change. With you, I know we'll find a way through the fallout, come away. In this new reality, we will embrace the change. We'll rearrange.
That's it, y'all. Another Thursday in the books. Listen, next Thursday, we're not going to go live. We're going to take the Thursday off. Why? Because we are getting on a cruise the Saturday after. So, no Thursday next week. Look for the notification for the live on Saturday. You'll definitely get that one. But we're not going to do the one next Thursday. So y'all have next Thursday off. Don't do anything I would do. And if you do, make sure you do it better than me. But I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me for the last hour. Any questions, y'all know how to reach me. Information's in the comment section below, well, the description. If you're not joined on the Facebook group, let me highly suggest you join the Facebook group. There's a lot of cool stuff going on over there. TikTok, Instagram, all of that stuff in the description below. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Thank you very much for the super chats from the bottom of my heart. You don't have to do it, but it's greatly appreciated. Why? Because Mike has to pack. Look, I might be packed by then. I haven't started packing yet. I know. I'm slacking. It's crazy. But maybe we'll be here next week. As of right now, no show Thursday. I will see y'all Saturday. Until next time, y'all have a safe and great night. Peace. Let me stop. Until next time, y'all know what to do. Y'all stay naughty. Peace.